Yes, go ahead, Mike.
Well, in the category, you've spoken about it, Mr. President, gun violence restraining orders. They're called. California actually has a version of this. And I think you, in your meeting with governors earlier this week, individually and as a group, we spoke about states taking steps. But the focus is to literally give families and give local law enforcement additional tools if an individual is reported to be a potential danger to themselves or others. Allow due process, so no one's rights are trampled, but the ability to go to court, obtain an order, and then collect not only the firearms, but any weapons in the possession
Or
of that
might
individual.
take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system, because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
We think about the tragedy in Sandy Hook and
That's right.
Adam Lanza's mother, who spoke to law enforcement, spoke to local officials. She was concerned over and over again. I know our colleagues from Connecticut lived this and saw it, but to literally give families and tools, law enforcement, as my state has done, as other states have done, to be able to take action to remove those weapons for either a set period of time or longer to make sure that person can't be a threat.
I like that. Marco?
And just to add, obviously that's a state law provision, and I know there's some people working on what we can do at the federal level to incentivize states to do this, but states are allowed to do it right now, and hopefully Florida will do that here shortly. And it brings home this point. And I think the Vice President alluded to it, and Congressman Rutherford just touched on it as well. There are people here that tried to do something. They called. They called the FBI. They called the sheriff's office. But legally, they had no recourse to sort of get ahead of this and stop it in terms of taking away his guns and placing him in a facility or some other measure with a court order to prevent him from being able to do this. And even if law enforcement had gone to see him, they would have been limited ultimately in their options as well. So this is an idea states can do, and I think there may be something we can do to incentivize it. I know we've been talking to your office and Senator Blumenthal and others, but ultimately states can do that.